Welcome to the Workamper Show, a podcast devoted to helping you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. I'm Steve Anderson, the president of Workamper News. Each one of our episodes will either introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to opportunities to work short-term jobs. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Thanks, Steve. Today I'll be speaking with an employer from South Dakota who is looking for help this spring at a campground near Rapid City. Today's episode is sponsored by The Dreamer's Journey. It's an online course and community produced by Workamper News. Life is way too short to keep your dreams on hold, so don't be held back by fear because you were designed for more. Get started in the RV lifestyle the right way with this comprehensive guide. For just $29.95 for 1 year of access, Dreamers have unlimited viewing of 50-plus videos to learn things like what type of RV to buy, goal setting, how to budget for the adventure, developing a positive mindset, setting up a domicile, and operating a small business on the road, plus everything about work camping and how to find the right job for you. Each video is 30 to 90 minutes long to give you an in-depth coverage on each topic. There's no wrong time to get started, so for more information, visit www.rvdreamersjourney.com. Justin Gonzalez is the manager of Black Hawk Creek RV Park, which is located just a few miles north of Rapid City, right on the edge of the beautiful Black Hills National Forest and all the popular tourist destinations like Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse Memorial, Sturgis, and Custer State Park. The campground has been in existence for a while and was previously known as Little John Memorial Park. 2 years ago, it was bought out and the new owners changed the name to Black Hawk Creek in honor of the little creek adjacent to the park. Right now, the park consists of 15 full hookup sites and 8 cabins. However, in the next 6 months, the campground will grow significantly with the addition of 100 new RV sites and another 20 cabins. The people who own the RV park also own another company in Rapid City called Custom Skirting, which crafts material to fit the exact specifications of any RV to protect the underside of the unit so that it can be used during the winter months. People come in to get their RVs fitted for custom skirts, often stay at the RV park where measurements can be taken and the product assembled at the factory by hand. The skirts really work, Justin said. He spent a winter in the RV with his He spent the winter in an RV with his wife and 2 daughters. In January, he spent $400 on propane due to below zero temperatures and winds that exceeded 50 miles per hour. In February, he had the skirts installed on his RV, and the propane cost dropped to $175 for his 42-foot RV with 5 slides. Once the skirts were installed, everyone was able to walk around barefoot. Work campers are needed this summer to help with reservations, conduct light housekeeping, mow the grass, and perform maintenance. In exchange for 2 days of work per week, they get a free full hookup RV site in an area where tourists pay $1,200 to stay 10 days at a local RV park. Justin would like work campers to commit to spending at least 3 months at the park, but if they want to stay longer, that's fine too. In fact, people who have experience with the textiles may be able to get a job at the skirting company and stay all year if they'd like. To tell us more about the campground and the work camping opportunities, please welcome Justin Gonzalez, the manager of Black Hawk Creek RV Park, to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Justin. I really appreciate the time. Tell us a little bit about Black Hawk Creek RV Park.
Sure thing, Greg. Thank you for having me. Black Hawk Creek is a RV park right outside of Rapid City, South Dakota in the Black Hills. So we have all the wonderful amenities of Rushmore, the Badlands, all the wonderful motorcycle riding and family action, tourist attractions in the area. We're actually very conveniently located right off the interstate. So we offer a really nice setup for people to easily get to right off the interstate if they're traveling through the area, or really convenient if they're looking to go other directions from our park. Recently, we were actually bought out about 2 years ago by the new owners and have been transforming the park. It was formerly known as Little John's. And in the next 6 months, we're looking to add about 100 new RV sites and probably around 20 more cabins.
That's neat. And so now you had mentioned that this RV park is designed for people who want to get skirting. Is that skirting for their RVs?
Yeah, so that's right. So the owners of the park are actually also the owners of Custom Skirting LLC. We like to think of ourselves as the nation's premier provider for RV skirting for full-timers that are looking to do, winter camping. And in the business model of developing custom skirting, Chris looked at it and said, it'd be really awesome if we had somewhere that we could host all of our clients coming through the area and do their installs and measurements for their skirting at an RV park we own, so that we could, control the process a little bit better and give them a better customer experience for getting skirting measured for their trailer.
That's neat. How long have you been involved with the park?
So I have only been involved with the park for about 9 months. I came up here last June and was hired on to run both the development of the RV park and the general management for custom skirting.
Okay. Have you folks ever hired any work campers in the past?
So we have not hired work campers specifically, or I have not hired work campers. There were a couple of work campers that we had kind of on the property when we've got here, and we worked with them for doing, light tasks like groundskeeping and a little bit of maintenance on the cabins.
Okay. So how many work campers are you looking for?
That's a wonderful question. Right now, we're a really small park, so we're looking for one or two to help out with reservations. That being said, by the end of the season, we are a full year-round park, and we're probably looking to put 2 or 3 people in a reservation management position, another 1 or 2 in cleaning, and then probably maintaining 1 or 2 in a maintenance department as well. So, as we grow, we're having to scale out the operation and bring more people in to help.
How many sites are at your park?
Right now, we've got 15 full hookup sites and 8 cabins that are operational. We've got another 12 full hookup sites we're adding in the next 60 days. And then past that, probably another 80 to 90 sites in the property development happening this summer.
Are all of the people who are staying there getting skirting for their RVs, or are some of people just passing through?
So both. We do a lot of typical tourist reservations for RVers coming through the area, and sometimes they see everybody else's wonderful skirts in the park because we do, we have maintained operational status throughout the winter and been a full season park. So we've got probably 6 or 7 people on property right now that have the skirts up, and it actually leads to a very natural conversation of people realizing the type of investment they could make in their R&V while they're here, and coincidentally selling extra skirts through just owning the park.
Well, let's give it a plug and tell people why they would want skirting for their RV.
Yeah, well, that's a wonderful question. I am actually new. I moved into my RV last year to take this job and move out here to run the RV park and custom skirting. And I was very interested in the product when I originally saw it online, and that's what led to me getting this job. And then I was kind of skeptical because it's not a cheap investment to buy good skirting for your trailer. And you really have to wonder, am I going to get the return out of it? And personally, living here on the park in Rapid City, South Dakota, I did not have a skirt until the end of January. And for the month of January, I've spent about $400 on propane. Once February hit, I had that skirt in. I spent about $175 that month.
Wow.
So I saw almost a 60% reduction in the propane I was burning. Now, I've got one of those big 5-slide, 42-foot long trailers, so there's a lot of thermal loss going in there. But the improvement of putting that skirting on has saved me monthly on my propane. And I live in this RV with both my wife and our 2 children. And all winter, after we got that skirting put on, you'd see them running around the house barefoot. And that was a pretty significant quality of life thing for me that, it wasn't, it was more of that feeling of living in the sticks and bricks and the real, you weren't feeling like you were in a cold RV. It felt more of like a nice home for us.
Well,
There was just wonderful benefits, both financially and kind of the immaterial things you can't put a number on.
That sounds like an interesting add-on component for a full-time RVer. It certainly would give them more options, I would expect, to extend the seasons where they're trying to visit. Most
definitely. With implementing the skirting that we have, we had people, for a period, we had 12 people through the winter here. And, they're RVing. We've got 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds through the park. This is South Dakota. So at some point with the wind chills, we were like negative 35. And, getting the skirting on there means that you're fully operational pretty much throughout storms like that and the weather that you face. And it just really kind of ties in the functionality of being able to really take your RV anywhere and spend time there.
That's really cool. Negative 35 degrees. If I were trying to camp in that situation with my motorhome a few years ago, it would get up and move away.
Yeah, it might be migrating when it gets that cold. I know it's an interesting, life proposition to live through the winter here and do it in an RV. And I can honestly say with buying a newer RV, about one that was bought last year, built last year, and then putting the skirting on it, my family had not spent time in an RV before. It's something I was familiar with from my childhood. We kind of looked at the lifestyle and be like, hey, we could probably do that. And then this opportunity came up. We moved into the RV. We've got the skirting, and the whole process has been excessively enjoyable for us to move into the RV lifestyle and pare down and really focus more on experience than just having all these little things we're collecting.
That's really great. Now, you had mentioned that these are your company is open, or the RV park is open year round. So, are you looking for work campers year round at this point, or just some folks to help out this season?
So we definitely have an increased staffing opportunity for the tourist season here and spring, summer, but we also have opportunities to go full time throughout the year if somebody was looking to move to the Rapid City area and work for us to pay for their lodging, so to speak, and then still they could maintain a job in town. Most of the work camper opportunities that we have consist of basically 2 days a week working. And that pays, if you do those 2 days a week, it'll pay for the entire stay that you're here. It's a great proposition in the summer for people because we don't change those hours, but we do change our summer rates, so they're getting a much bigger value for being here. During this season, we're right down the street from Sturgis, and, you can see RV spaces going for, $1,200 for 10 days during that time in our area.
That's pretty intense. So what kind of commitment are you from the work campers?
Well, we'd love to have somebody coming in for at least 3 months at a time. That way we know once we get you brought up to speed, we're going to have a nice period of, return on that investment of training you and then getting some help around the park, getting these tasks achieved. Like I said, we're looking from everything from groundskeepers to front end people to cleaners. And we actually also have some unique opportunities if we were to find people who are good at sewing. The demand for our skirting has just gone through the roof, and it's been excessively hard for us to keep up with staffing that. It's a much more technical job than just about anything I see most of the time with work campers, but with somebody that had industrial sewing experience, we could put together a wonderful opportunity for them to both work off their stay as well as, make an hourly wage sewing skirts.
Is that something that they could be trained to do?
It is, and we're since I came on board with the company, we're working on developing a better training program so that we can accelerate that speed. But yes, it's something that, if you have exposure to any textiles or, even being a seamster at home and doing home projects, we could definitely train the right person. That being said, the commitment to being a sewer with custom skirting can be difficult. We're working sometimes with 20-foot long pieces of heavy vinyl and, putting in details to that. The skirts that we make at Custom Skirting are truly custom down to the 16th of an inch for every RV. So it's like getting a special, glove fitted just to fit your RV and getting, the technical application right. That being said, we make it very easy for our seamsters because we do a fully computerized layout and printing. That being said, the skirt comes out, on raw vinyl, and we print the layout on the back of it of exactly how it has to be sewn, where the pockets have to be placed for people to have access, and everything like that.
That's a real interesting job, that's for sure. Now, you had said that the work campers are only required to put in two days per week?
Depending on the position, if you're, we recognize that there might be a little more manual labor to groundskeeping, and it's a little less than 2 8-hour days for that position.
Is it possible for them to work more hours for pay, or is it just the 2-day minimum is what you're looking for, or 2-day requirement is what you're looking for the work campers right now?
So we're looking for a 2-day commitment where we could be interested in exploring opportunities for people to work more on property if they were looking to supplement their income. We'd have to work through that with each individual. Just right now, we're trying to limit our risk as a company to excessive labor because we're growing the park. And sometimes, we've got 2 people check in a day, and sometimes we've got 8 or 10. So we've got to be cognizant about how much of, how many free sites we're giving away and how much we're investing in the labor to service the customers that are coming through when we don't have, as many as most of our competitors at the moment.
Okay. So the compensation is pretty much a free full hookup site, but they can use for several months by working only 2 days a week.
Yep.
That's a great deal for that part of the country.
And, we did some research, and we're really, we think our compensation package, so to speak, is as rewarding, if not more rewarding. Recognize that we need to invest in good partners to run this park with us to get the result we want. We really believe that we're building a 5-star property here, and we might not have the bells and whistles of, a pool and things like that, but we offer a wonderful experience where you're not jammed in right next to your neighbor at an RV park, and we're surrounded by farmland less than 3 miles off the interstate. Like it's a wonderful location and opportunity here.
What kind of traits or qualifications are you looking for in work campers?
An experience in any type of customer service definitely helps. If you have direct experience in, landscaping and you're looking to fulfill some of the groundskeeping positions, very applicable. But I think the most important thing for us is being open to change and wanting to take ownership in your activity. We would love to have individuals here who feel like they're making a difference with us and improving this park and growing it into a name where people want to come back. And since I've taken over, I think we've done a great job of trying to maintain that. We've seen, a wonderful amount of repeat business. I think that's as somebody running the park, that's one of the things that gets my heart up the most during the day is to get somebody call and say, hey, we were there back in August and we were coming through the area. We loved our experience. We just wanted to make sure you're open. And, it's a little flattering that they did enjoy our park and they want to come back because they see that we provide a little bit of a different experience than most parks that they can go to in the area.
That's great. Are you recruiting for work campers right now?
We are.
Okay, so these are for the jobs are available immediately. So if somebody is still looking for work this summer, they could give you a jingle.
Yep. We're a little. We've staffed a few people from the park into doing some groundskeeping. But definitely, if we had a well-qualified candidate for groundskeeping, we'd be interested in that as well.
Okay. And if they wanted to work for you this fall or this winter, how would they contact you, or do you have a specific timeline in mind for that?
We understand that we're going to meet the right person all in different stages of the journey of life here. So, just go to our website, check it out, see if it's a park you'd be interested in, and then give us a call directly. We'd love to hook up with you and have a discussion about what you could bring to the park. So check out our website, blackhawkcreekrvpark.com, and look us up that way.
That sounds too simple. Is there anything a work camper could do to really stand out among the applications if they're truly looking to take this job?
One thing that I really value in employment applications is a dedicated letter illustrating how you would implement yourself in the position. Don't just say, hey, I've done this and I think I could do it at your park. Say, here's the experience that I've had. Here's where it would play into the growth of your park, and I would like to be a member of that. I really get turned off by just form emails that people send. So something with, a little of your own personality in it is greatly appreciated.
And it always helps to check out the park's website and find out a little bit more about it and try and personalize the kinds of things that a work camper can do for that park.
Yep.
Okay. Now, that
Most
part
definitely.
of South Dakota is very popular. So tell everybody what kinds of things there are to do within an hour or two of Rapid City. You had mentioned Sturgis already.
Yep. So we're part of the Black Hills Badlands Tourism. So we have both the Black Hills here that host, wonderful things like the casinos and Sturgis, going up to Deadwood, a number of different rodeos that come through the area. I think the thing that most people put on their bucket list when coming to the area, probably the top three things that come to mind from the tourists I get coming through are, of course, Mount Rushmore. A lot of people like doing the nature drive through Custer, and they can usually tack that onto the same afternoon for themselves, go into Rushmore and then Custer State Park. We have a wonderful thing that happens in the fall where they do the roundup of the buffalo. And then, of course, the Badlands. It's just one of the most unique biospheres in a way, where it's just so hidden in the valleys and so exposed up top. And, you've got lush growing areas on either side of the Badlands, and then you just come to kind of spot in the middle of America where the eraser was swept across it. But yeah, I think people come into the area are looking to enjoy a lot of solitude, peace. We're not nearly as well developed as something like the Smoky Mountains. So we offer a lot more enjoyment of, the nature and the vastness of being on the plains, so to speak.
Are there still prairies available in that area? If people wanted to go and see an actual real prairie like it was back in the Old West?
Yeah, definitely. I think on the drive going up from our area in South Dakota up north towards, I think it's Roosevelt National Park that they started up there. You really get a sense of that landscape in America.
So how can people get more information if they'd like it?
Yeah, our website's a great place to start. If they want to call us, all of our phone lines go through our skirting business, which is 855-WE-SKIRT. So if they want to give that a call, it'd be extension 2 on there for the park, or extension 1 if you're looking to invest in some skirting.
And what is the website?
BlackhawkCreekRVPark.com.
That's easy enough to remember. So super. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's
Jeff.
a mouthful, but it's super easy.
Thank you very much for the time today. Really appreciate it. And I hope some folks take advantage of this.
I do too, Greg. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
I'd like to thank Justin Gonzalez, the manager of Black Hawk Creek RV Park, for coming on the show to describe his company and the way it can employ work campers this summer. The campground is on an elevated property surrounded by farmland, which offers some pretty expansive views of the countryside. There's an old-fashioned playground at the property, but the key attraction is its proximity to Rapid City, which is South Dakota's largest city and boasts a population of 70,000 people with all the amenities RVers need. The campground is 35 minutes from Mount Rushmore, an hour from Crazy Horse, and 40 minutes from Custer State Park where the buffalo still roam. The craziness of the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally is less than 30 minutes away. Wind Cave National Park is less than an hour away. Yellowstone National Park and Denver are both about 7 hours away, which is easier to visit when you have 5 days off every week. Work campers who enjoy providing great customer service to campground guests, but also want time off to explore all that region of South Dakota has to offer, will enjoy working at Black Hawk Creek RV Park. Applying for the job is as simple as calling Justin at the Custom Skirting Office at 855-WE-SKIRT, extension 2, to have a conversation with him about the job, or email a resume and cover letter outlining your experience and what you can bring to the job to blackhawkcreekrvpark@gmail.com. It will be a great opportunity to spend 3 months or a full year in South Dakota. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. With its Diamond and Platinum membership tools, Workamper News is much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, You'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. The one-year memberships open the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original resource for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with a community of work campers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then a Diamond or Platinum membership is for you. You can even get started with a free 30-day trial by visiting www.workcamper.com/trial. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. That's all I have for this week's show. Next time, I'll be talking with a man who runs a successful online marketing agency, helping businesses with their digital marketing needs. His family is also involved in a number of faith-based service projects. I'll have that interview on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thanks for listening.